There's a job most of us are working that we never applied for, never get paid for, and never clock out of. It's the job of managing what everyone else thinks of us. Monitoring it, adjusting for it, performing for it. It runs quietly in the background of almost everything we do. What we wear, what we post, what we say, what we avoid saying. It is exhausting. And today I want to talk about how to hand in your notice. But I want to approach it carefully, because the usual advice on this is terrible. The usual advice is to stop caring. Don't care what anyone thinks. Be unbothered. Be the person who needs no approval and answers to nobody. It sounds strong. It's also impossible and slightly broken. Impossible because you are human, and humans are social. We care about what other people think because belonging has always mattered to us. Telling someone to stop caring is like telling them to stop feeling hungry. You might suppress it for a while, but you are fighting your own nature. And it is broken because someone who cares about what nobody thinks, it is not always free. Sometimes they are simply cut off. I spent a while trying to be the person who did not care what anyone thought. It did not make me free. It made me colder, more defensive, and quiet and lonely. The goal was never to care about nothing. The goal is to decide whose opinion deserves power over your life. Because the problem is not always that you care too much. Often, you are letting the wrong people vote. You give weight to strangers, to distant acquaintances, to people online, to people who barely understand your life, to people whose approval you are never going to win. And then you let them imagined verdict outweigh your own judgment. I have done this in work, family life, parenting, relationships, and the things I have tried to build for myself. I have worried about being seen as competent enough, responsible enough, calm enough, or successful enough. I've replayed conversations, rewritten messages, prepared explanations nobody asked for. I have spent far too much energy trying to make sure nobody thought badly of me. And the harder you try to control how people see you, the more anxious you become. Because their opinion was never yours to fight in the first place. This is where the Stoics are useful. Their main idea was the dichotomy of control. Some things are up to us, other things are not. Your actions are up to you. Your effort is up to you. Your honesty, your character, and your values are up to you. Other people's opinions are not. Their opinions happen inside their mind. It is shaped by their mood, their history, their insecurity, and their limited understanding of you. You influence what they think. You do not control it. Epictetus said that if you want to improve, you have to be willing to look foolish. Because the moment your peace depends on other people's approving of you, you have handed them control over your inner life. One comment, one disagreement, or one change of opinion becomes enough to shake you. Marcus Aurelius wrote about the peace that comes from no longer watching what everyone else is saying, doing or thinking. He reminded himself to focus on his own conduct. The most watched man in the Roman Empire had to remind himself to stop watching the watchers. Modern psychology tells us something similar. There is a name for the feeling that everyone is noticing and judging us: the spotlight effect. We walk around feeling exposed. We think people notice the awkward thing we said, the mistake we made, the way we looked, or the choice we made. But most people are too busy worrying about themselves to spend too much time analysing us. The audience in your head is far more attentive than the audience in the room. You have been performing for people who were barely watching. So the reframe I believe in is not stop caring, it is choose your jury. Think about whose opinion has earned your place in life. Not the loudest person, not the person with the biggest title, not the stranger with the strongest opinion. Think about the people who knows you properly. The people who want good things from you. The people who want to tell you the truth without taking pleasure in hurting you. That list should be short. A few family members, a close friend, a partner, a trusted colleague. The people who have earned a vote. Everyone else has been given influence they've never earned. A useful test is this. Would I trade places with this person? Do I respect how they live? Do I respect how they treat people? Do I want what they have? There was someone whose disapproval used to affect me far more than it should have. Then I realised I did not admire their life, their choices, or the way they treated people. Yet I was still letting their opinion sit above mine. We often chase approval from people we don't even respect. Sometimes because they are loud. Sometimes because they are nearby. Sometimes because some old part of us is trying to win a room that stopped mattering years ago. So what do you do in practice? First, name your jury. Think of 3, 4, or even 5 people whose honest opinion matters. Those are the people you listen to. Everyone gets moved out of the decision-making room. Second, when you feel anxious about someone, ask 2 questions. Is this person on my list? And is their opinion under my control? Most of the time the answer will be no. You don't need to force the feeling away. You only need to recognise that managing their opinion was never your job. Third, act from your values and let their reactions belong to them. Do the honest thing. Do the fair thing. Do the thing you believe is right. Then let people respond however they like. You are responsible for your conduct. You are responsible for making everyone approve of your conduct. Those are separate jobs. You only had the first one. This is the part I am still learning. Sometimes you make a decision for your family and someone thinks you are wrong. Sometimes you set a boundary and someone thinks you are difficult. Sometimes you speak directly and someone dislikes your tone. Sometimes you stop accepting something that no longer works for you and people question why. Their reaction does not automatically mean you made the wrong choice. Sometimes disapproval is the price of changing, and the cost of never learning this is the higher than it looks. A life spent managing everyone's opinion becomes a performance. You slowly lose track of what you want. You become good at reading the room and bad at reading yourself. You make life choices based on what creates the least friction, and eventually you end up with a well-managing reputation and a life that does not feel like yours. The way out is to not stop feeling. It is to stop outsourcing your judgment. You do not need everyone's approval. You need your own self-respect. You need honest feedback from the people who have earned place in your life. And you need enough courage to carry on when someone still disapproves. So let them think what they think. Let them misunderstand. Let them form opinions from limited information. Let them dislike a decision you never had to make. It was never yours to carry. And the lightness you feel when you set it down is not you caring less about your life. It is you returning to it. For the first time in a long time, you are no longer performing. You are